you cannot speak respectfully about this topic, then please do not get in the box. Gotcha and I will be on standby quickly to remove you if things start to go a little haywire.
I don't know if the rest of you guys picked up on what Devin said. Ryan Ray definitely picked it up. He First of all, they both were claiming on live that it was two dogs, a gray and a brown one. And when Devin was talking to the officer, he said a dog, meaning one singular, not plural.
Oh, that yeah. Got he made a post on his Facebook page claiming it was one dog. He said, "Kilo, I'm sorry we could not protect you from the stray dog."
Yeah, there's so many things that don't add up here. Oh, I lost my comments again. I guess I'm just gonna roll with it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't really add up here. The story, again, the story, you see that the story changes from time to time from it being told. There is speculation that, again, speculation and opinion, that, something happened inside of the house and they took the dog outside. The timeline and the time frames are not adding up 100%. And there's, other issues with, again, like I said, it's a very suspicious purchase prior to this happening. Devin doesn't mention the cameras, which they have. They had cameras before they started telling people that they needed cameras to keep the dogs secure. There's just a lot of variables here.
That's a good question, Tinkerbell. Does anybody know what's the height on that fence that they claim these dogs jumped? Was it a 4-foot fence, 3-foot fence, 6-foot fence?
You can see it in the video where the officer comes into the backyard. I mean, it's 3 to 5, God. That's all I can tell you.
It's a pretty good size.
So it would take a pretty healthy dog, in my opinion, to jump that fence. A stray dog will not. It's not going to have the strength to do that, and that's my opinion. It's 5 foot, but it's on a hill. Um, I it's too fishy. The story doesn't add up, in my opinion. Nothing adds up there. The bathed dog, one mark behind the ear. Um, it went from two dogs to one dog. The blur video, but you left the dog outside, and you came on TikTok begging for people to pay for cameras because you were scared of your dog getting unalived by treats from your haters. But yet you're gonna leave for an hour to an hour and a half and leave one of your animals outside. Yeah, definitely that math is not mathing at all.
Well, let's talk about the fact that if this dog was attacked, why was there no marks? Why was there no puncture wounds on this dog? And why, like, even bathing him? I mean, there's no blood outside. There was no blood outside on the ground. Um, it's my opinion that the story that she's feeding you guys is not what happened.
And
Uh,
go
Go ahead,
ahead.
Doc.
Okay, real quick. Those of you that have pets, whether it be a cat or a dog or even a hamster, if it passes, you're gonna feel real bad. You're not gonna. Your first instinct is not to come on TikTok live and beg for money for cigarettes. Your first thing is you want to take care of that animal, especially if it's a dog or a cat, because they're part of your family. They're just not your pets. At least in my house, my dog is not a pet to me. That is a family member. He gets treated exactly how everybody else in the house gets treated. Actually, he gets treated better, to be honest with you. He's 18 years old. I know if he passes away, that is going to break me. And you will not see me come on TikTok and do anything. I'm going to be so distraught because my family member has passed away. Makes no sense with how they did that, what they did, what they're talking about. Nothing adds up.
It definitely doesn't add up. And I think Shirley can correct me if I'm wrong. She was saying that it was going to take, I think, $35 to get Kilo's body back, that they were investigating it. But then when AC shows up at her house while she's live, she says they're talking about a dog that's been at the landfill. So I don't understand. I'm sorry, if one of my pets passed away, my pet's going to be buried or cremated so I could have the ashes, because that my dogs are my babies. Nothing adds up what she says. Nothing.
TikTok Raider, did you want to say something?
Yes, good evening. I came up here to elaborate on the history of Beth and Devin on this app, also on the Stolen Valor. I was just waiting patiently until y'all are done discussing the dogs.
Well, I think I mean, you can go. We can go back and forth a little bit. That's fine. Sorry, I'm going nuts because I can't see my comments. It's driving me insane. Moderators and gotcha, especially. I'm going to need you to really watch the comments.
Yeah, everybody's being mad respectful. There's
Okay.
no
Yeah,
disrespect.
I can see the last comment. But that's it. And I see people are asking questions, so I hope you guys are doing your best to answer people's questions.
Thank you for coming up. First off, so quick back history. I am active duty, 15 years Marine. My wife came across Beth 2 years ago when she was running with a different anti-scam group. She said, "Hey, I think there's a homeless veteran Marine that's living somewhere close to us in our van. Maybe check it out." Long story short, I went in there on my actual account, talked to Beth, asked her about her military service, and she kind of gave me some nonchalant, like, yeah, I don't really talk about it, yada yada yada, and I was just trying to help a homeless veteran out. Um, I told her, hey, if you ever do need anything or you change your mind and you decide to take resources that I can help you get, just DM me or whatever. A couple weeks go by, I see her again, go back in there again on my personal account, and I ask her again, like, hey, how have you been? Have you thought about the resources? And it's a completely different narrative. It's back to the whole, I don't talk about my military service because it gives me seizures, yada, yada, yada. And she boots me out. And I'm like, well, that's a red flag. And then that was when Mr. Scam Police was born. From there, I started with Beth for anti-scam and stolen valor. I branched out to cover other people on the app that were also doing scamming and begging, and then career got in the way. But during my back and forth with Beth and Devin, she's lied about multiple things. She said that she was pew-pewed in the back of the head while serving in Baghdad, Afghanistan, which is two different countries. Not to insult anybody's intelligence, but Baghdad is in Iraq, and Afghanistan is its own separate country. Also, too, with the ammunition that the enemy used, well, she gave two stories. She said that she was shot, or excuse me, pew-pewed. I apologize. She was pew-pewed while deployed, and another time she said she was pew-pewed by what we call blue on blue, so another service member by accident. I can tell you, no one, you don't have to have a high education to know that if you get pew-pewed in the head, it's not, there's going to be severe damage, and if you do survive, it's going to be very noticeable. She said that when she was pew-pewed while deployed, that the military and VA would not help her. That Devin, when she got back home, that Devin had to rehabilitate her and get her back to the health that she's at. Um, so did some, research with all public information via, Google and whatnot, simple Google searches, and found that during the timelines that she said that she was serving in the military, she was actually in and out of jail for, misdemeanors, anything from misdemeanors up to felonies, which I do know that the Marine Corps will not deal with. She also says that she was a Marine stationed on Fort Hood, which is not a thing. She also said that she was a female in Special Forces artillery, which females are still not currently in Special Forces, and there's not Special Forces artillery. So there's a lot of lies you can see right through. She also one time got so elevated that she said that she was in Vietnam in the army. And I did have a conversation with her uncle who did serve in Vietnam. And we had a conversation. He said that she did have a very rough childhood growing up, that she uses other people's stories to her benefit and is a habitual liar. So about a year ago, Beth is always and Devin are always claiming that people call her jobs. I, for one, and my wife, who we always get blamed for calling her jobs, we actually never contacted her job once. I did contact animal control while in Virginia one time just to ask questions about their situation, having the 7 or 8 dogs at the time in a van, but that was it. However, she did somehow find out my actual name and contacted Headquarters Marine Corps to get me investigated to try and get me in trouble. When that investigation happened, I had nothing to hide because I had broke no laws and gave every single bit of evidence that I had to my command and the NCIS agents that I talked to, which is just military detectives, investigators. From there, it was given to all the evidence of SSI fraud, stolen valor, hug use, and everything else was given to a 3-letter agency, or was passed on to a 3-letter agency, because most of everything she was doing is felony.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of information. First of all, thank you for your service. It's because of people like you she gets to do what she does because of the Constitution you fought for. So thank you for that. That is a wild story. So because you were exposing her, she took it to ruin your military career.
And she
Yes,
tried. So what came out of that like investigate? I mean, like you're okay, right?
oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Absolutely. My command, when they found out, I mean, it was kind of funny to see Mr. Scam Police on a government document when the
Right.
captain, the investigating officer, handed me the document, and I
Right.
seen Beth Osborne at the top and Mr. Scam Police. I laughed out loud.
I would too.
But my command, when they found out, like I said, I showed them everything, and they
Yeah.
also had to conduct a interview with them, and they were like, "Yeah, these people are obviously lying about everything. You've broken nothing against the UCMJ or the laws that the military has to follow. You've broken no civilian laws. For us to even try to punish you would be an infringement of your First Amendment rights."
That's amazing. Um, it, it's yeah. It's I just I again it's something that I have a hard time just wrapping my head around. Like I don't know why somebody would go to those kind of lengths to, lie about, those things. And, um, you know, I hope that something comes out of this dog thing. I really do. Do I agree with people spam calling and the amount of animal control calls that have happened? No, I believe that same with the Lisa Richards case. I believe that when you're doing stuff like that, it no longer makes it seem legit. It just at that point it seems like bullying. And I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying that when hundreds of people take it upon themselves to report that kind of stuff, it just makes it seem like it's not real, and it really kind of takes away from the actual purpose of what people are trying to do. Do I believe that certain situations need to be reported? 100%. I know that there are several valid complaints that have been put into animal control. And I mean, I just don't think that hundreds of people need to be doing it at the same time. Um, I want to bring up the fact that the most recent visit from AC. I know that we heard the officer that responded say that the dog looked okay and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen pictures on Reddit and stuff of what Karma looked like when she got her. And then we saw the picture where Karma was looking like you could see her ribs at one point. And now she appears to have put on a little bit of weight, but she still looks to me, again, in my opinion, she looks to me to be a little underweight for her size. Um, I have so many questions. Um, I want to know why the other two dogs weren't spayed. I want to know why she is blaming trolls for a decision that she made in leaving the dog outside. I want to know why there was a purchase of a shovel prior to all of this happening. I want to know why suddenly did you take it upon yourself to bathe your dogs. Um, I don't know. Gotcha.
Every one of those animals is a ploy for her to dig into people's pockets on this app. Every one of them. She has no compassion for them. She's just holding on to them so that she can get people who are pet lovers to get money out of those the pet lovers, so she can benefit off of it. Um, she lives in a state that in a city as well that you're only allowed 4 dogs max. She has at one point when Kilo was still with us, she was over it by 5. Why did they not take 5 of them away and rehome them into a good home? That's what I think everybody would like to know. Also, what I think everybody would like to know is what happened to the money that she got on this app that she was begging for so that she can try to open a kennel in her house because she knew she was going to court. She knew she was going to get in trouble for for having too many animals. Um, we never seen any license for that. We never seen any paperwork come out of that. That's questions that's on a lot of people's minds.
So she has till the 15th of April to get a kennel license, but she's not zoned for the kennel license. Let's remember her house is directly in front of an elementary school.
Yes. So that's why
And
it's not zoned.
exactly. And then you think, if two stray dogs jumped a fence, why wouldn't you try to get as much details, especially with, if they was rabid and you have little children across the street to protect the kids. That's another issue I have with that.
Are y'all aware that Kilo is not the first dog to pass under their watch?
Exactly. They have another
Um,
one passed
they did
away.
have another one. His name was Jake. Back when they first got together, they were actually in the news when they lived in Washington. They were in the
TikTok rated
news.
that was Alex.
Or Alex,
Alex.
you're right, correct. Thank you, Alex, who mysteriously passed away. So just food for thought. But I just wanted to thank y'all again for letting me come up and speak my piece. I'll be in the comments if y'all have any more questions. I appreciate everything y'all do for the anti-scam community. Unfortunately, I had to stop doing it as much as I was. Shout out to my wife and her crew and what they do. Also to Callie Hood and Lyman's wife and everything that they do on a daily basis. And for everybody in the comments, thank you for your support. Us military members absolutely love support, and we thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I really appreciate you coming up and speaking. You gave us a lot of good information.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I have a couple concerning questions. I know you guys don't have all the answers. I heard Beth say that it was 2 dogs, brown and white one. And then her, I guess, supposed husband said it was 1 dog. Now, I'm going to school for a veterinarian technician, and I know, and everybody else in this live knows that when you're attacked by a certain animal or an animal is attacked, there are going to be wounds on the animal. It doesn't matter what did it. Even a cat can, leave a scratch on a dog. So she shouldn't. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm just like so confused.
Yeah.
And then you're not upset. Second of all, I think she was on earlier asking for cigarettes. And I know she's a scammer because she has done before how she's what was it? She was a school teacher or elementary assistant teacher.
Well, she was claiming that she had a position in a daycare facility.
Oh, okay. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I didn't even knew her like that, but I did see her a lot on my the PFP. Like, and then everyone was like, she's a felon, and I'm like, can't.
Well,
What's
if
the
that's true,
prison
if she
if
if
you're a
she is
felon?
if she is a convicted felon, there is no way she is going to pass a background check to work with
Mm-hmm.
anybody's children.
Yep.
She is Auburn, or she is a convicted felon. She
Yeah,
has felony record.
there is no way that anybody would pass her on a background check to work with
No.
anybody's children.
I had to do a background check on myself, and I'm just going for a vet tech. But they did, they had to do a background check and everything, just for animals. But and if you have a camera, why didn't you show the officer the video of the dog? Because that would be evidence.
Right.
Everything would, like, the heat wouldn't be so much on you, especially if the cop is hearing 2 different sides of a story. And then, she just don't have evidence. And there's no inflicted wounds on that little animal.